Thank you for viewing my channel. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Support your boy and get me big open. Even though if I've been off for 3 weeks, almost a month. Of course, May. It's gonna be, few. It's just a few more minutes until June arrives. Um, Mind y'all, my birthday was like 23 days ago, and I'm just not reminding y'all that I had a birthday way back then. And let's not to mention, I'm just not about to comment on this Sky Fever game, which was 14 days ago. So I got a lot of catching up to do. Of course, the Sky had, they got blown out by the Fever, 93 to 58. But what really stood out in that game is when Caitlin made that hard follow Angel, and Angel showed some reaction, and wanted to let Caitlin know how she felt about that. Let me roll that clip.
Spinning, wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Rebecca Allen, too strong on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know there are always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark, and Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
Well, tension.
Okay, so you just seen that clip. I've never seen Angel react that way towards Caitlin. I mean, I'm sure, but and that's a normal thing. And that's what people don't understand. Hard fouls, certain players are going to have that little reaction, that little violent reaction, like they're about to go after that player. It's happened so many times. I remember when Ron Artest hard foul Ben Wallace at that Malice in the Palace game, and Ben Wallace shoved Ron Artest all the way back, almost having him, hit the floor. He almost made him, bump into the announcers. That's how hard Ben shoved him. And you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a big deal to other people. But Angel, she just go after somebody. She ain't much touch Caitlin, you know what I'm saying? And they just looking at her as this, what I mean, this angry, woman. So, well, so when later on, leading to there, Angel goes to the free throw line. She's hearing these noises that's supposed to be noises, and there are fans that like doing the hand wave on her, just taunting Angel, belittling her as she was going through that free throw line. The Indiana Fever fans are just horrifying and just crazy like that. So now it's led up to some accusations about the Fever fans yelling racial slurs and making, derogatory noises towards Angel Reese, which led the press conference to interview about that, and this is what she had to respond to it. Let me roll that clip.
Obviously, there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA, our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
How did it affect you Saturday, trying to do your job, trying to play, and having this going on simultaneously?
Yeah, obviously it's tough, but I think I have a great support system. I'm loved by so many people, and obviously in the moment it's hard to hear, but my support system is great. God has protected me in so many different ways. I've gone through so many different things, in the past couple of years of my life. But I think just having this support and this love and being a part of an organization that really supports me and loves me is something that I couldn't imagine not being a part of.
What do you think the league's response, just coming out right away and getting that investigation going?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, they understand that this is the priority. Obviously, there's no place for this, and they preach. I think 2 days before they put out no hate, no speech. And obviously, the women in this league, they know that, and know there's no space for that. And I believe that every player in this league deserves to be treated with respect and want to come to work and just have fun and have a great environment to work at. So I think they've done a great job putting that out, and we're obviously just going to respond as they need to.
Now, as you see, Angel made the response, and and she basically, the response they gave had people, the anti-Angels say, look at Angel, falling for, being fell to the lie, she's making these accusations and all that. She's agreeing with these accusations about the Fever fans being accused of making these weird noises as the WNBA makes their investigation about this. And Angel didn't say none of that. She didn't give them the proper answer. What really happened was, she just gave an answer as if it really did happen. You know what I'm saying? As a possibility, it could happen to someone else. You know what I'm saying? All she did was say, just one thing. She wanted to thank people that were supporting her, being by her side, and everything. That's all. She didn't fall to no false accusations of, accusing the Fever fans or anything. Angel didn't accuse no Fever fans. She's not even allowed to even discuss any of this while there's an ongoing investigation. So shout out to one of Twitter people who responded to this tweet, trying to say that Angel was accusing these Fever fans and all that. Because people just like to go by stuff and just run with it, and just, make these assumptions that fits their narrative and not no one else's. Angel, the WNBA, never said that these people made any noises towards her. They just said that, they heard something about it, and she said if it can happen to her, it can happen to anyone. That doesn't mean that it happened to her. It's just an example that, like, if it did happen. But, people are going to go by how they feel, only to make themselves feel good and, their star feel better. And that's the problem that we have going on this earth. And let's also call out RG3, who add fuel to the fire when he made a video about Angel showing her hatred towards Caitlin Clark not in a basketball standard, but a personal standard. I'm gonna roll that clip.
Action last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun. Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball? Not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that. Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain.
Now, you saw that clip from RG3, and that's a bunch of bull, S-H-I-T bullshit. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Angel don't have no hate for that girl. You know what I'm saying? Angel went after her. She wrapped over the hard fall. It happens. That doesn't mean Angel hates the girl for the rest of her life. And that doesn't mean Angel's planning on doing no type of violent attack on Caitlyn. You know what I'm saying? It's a competitive basketball game. Basketball is a very competitive sport. So therefore emotions are going to be involved, and therefore you're going to see reactions like that. That's all it is to it. RG3, you know, the buck dancing he does, you know, the work he does to try to earn butter biscuits and pets on the head from his masters for, you know, doing whatever he can to, you know, endanger Angel more is mind-boggling. And shout out to Ron Clark for getting on him about that. I'm gonna do a video actually about RG3 and Ryan Clark and how he called him out on it, and his stuff about him, you know, bragging about liking milk women, you know, milful, how he likes a glass of milk, which is white women or his wife, and now, you know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna try to post it before May ends at midnight. This is JG, always on topics, and I want to thank you all for listening. Peace.